and welcome to the Real Estate Photography Podcast with Mike Muriello. This is episode 114, composition tip number 2. So I was in this house the other week, and I thought, wow, this kit would make for an excellent example of how zoomed you are with your lens is so important. And it kind of goes to show what lens compression is and how it impacts your photos. So for example, you look here. This is you're gonna see 3 different photos of the same room, the same kitchen, and they're all going to be taken at different focal lengths. One is at 20 millimeters. One is at these are crop factor Nikon, so 1.5 crop factor. So 20 millimeters, 14 millimeters, and then wide open at 10 millimeters. So here's 20. It looks good, whatever. I just want you to focus on the island and watch how big it begins to get. And we're going to jump out to 14. And you can notice a pretty large change right off the bat, and then we're going to go ahead and look at 10, and this is where it gets a little bit weird. So you can come to your own conclusions about all this different stuff, but I just want to explain what's going on here. And like I said in the beginning, it's the unofficial word is compression effect. It's lens compression. It doesn't change perspective, and I want to say that again. You're not changing the perspective of the image. In order to change perspective, you actually have to move to a different place. These were all, well, I moved up a little bit because obviously to frame it correctly, but in regards to looking left and right, the perspective didn't change, the composition didn't change. But what happened is you can, by moving close and widening, zooming out to, or I should say zooming all the way out to 10 millimeters, you can make things that are closer to the camera appear a lot larger than they really are. And this is kind of something I'm trying to tell you not to do. Not necessarily, hey, go try this, go make rooms look bigger than they really are. That's a really bad idea, and it's really going to only come back to bite you later. But anyway, so there's 10 millimeters. It looks really, really awkward almost. This island, I mean, it doesn't look right. If you come back to 20 millimeters, now I'm pulled back pretty far, and then I zoomed into 20 millimeters, and that's what you have. And you can only do this, by the way, if you have room to back up. You don't always have room to back up in some sort of house. But I would say of all 3 of them, I would like 14 millimeters is a nice size for this, because it doesn't make and I was in the house, I don't think the island is exactly the size, but it's a lot bigger than that, and it's a lot smaller than that, and that kind of gives it's a nice in-between. I would go in after this and fix it all up and make sure everything's cropped straight and all my lines are straight. You don't want that at the very end. But as far as zoom, it's incredibly important that you focus on how wide you are or how zoomed you are, because it obviously has a big impact on things close to the camera, as well as away from the camera. Because if you look, it's that compression effect sort of thing. But if you look at the cabinets, they actually get a little bit thinner every single time you zoom in, or you zoom out. See, I keep saying zoom in, zoom out. Out meaning 10 millimeters, in meaning 20 millimeters. And it's subtle, but they do get a little bit smaller, especially with perspective. Okay, well, I think that's it. Thanks. Have a good one.